Hello, this is Ebonygeek. You're always welcome to join me in expanding your knowledge base. Comments are always welcome, and please subscribe. And this is my backyard in Gary, Indiana. It's nothing great. It needs some help. I need to try to put a fence on that back area. Maybe try to straighten out that post. That may just be a matter of putting a fence back there. This shed can be worked on. The door they have on there needs to be shaved or something because it don't really fit and it don't really close. But that's where we're going to get some of the work we're going to do today, because I got a whole lot of leaves in there that I had been throwing in there like 2 years ago and never got back to getting rid of them. That could be good for the compost pile. This is what we're focusing on today. This is the compost pile. I made it completely out of chicken wire and those little green posts. It's not the T-post, it's the other kind. I think that I was supposed to get the T-post, but I didn't. So I wound up getting the other one. That worked too. So I think the other one was for like signs and stuff like that. So what I did yesterday was, according to the wood size, the wood that you see there, according to that size, I actually staked out with the green poles there. The size that it would need to be. Now, once I staked it out in that square, so once I staked it out, I went around it with the chicken wire, that stuff. I think it was the 4 feet height. I was going for the best price, and not knowing what I was doing, I didn't want to buy a whole lot of something and then not know what I was doing and wind up spending too much on something I didn't use. Okay, so once I got that done, and simply put, what I did was, it should be a good way to see it. There's little slots on the green pole, and I kind of hooked it into those slots whenever I could, like there. Then the rest I zip tied. Okay. So once I ran the chicken wire, I put the wood, I set it up this side and this back side right along each other. I drill holes in it. You can see the hole right here. I drill holes in the wood. Then I ran the zip tie to it, cinched it up together so it's holding that corner pretty tight. Okay. Then I went around and made sure that the zip tie was holding that where I zip tied the corner. So that's not moving, that's not going nowhere. And up here you can see where the wood is zip tied. That simply keep it in place. So you drill a hole, you run the zip tie through it. Okay, the corners are pretty easy. You make sure to zip tie it to the green post, because the green post is what's hammered into the ground to keep it solid. So I did that along the middle seam right there. Right there. And then there's the post that's hammered into the ground. And the zip ties don't know if you can see them. Okay. Getting around at the corner again. Alright. Down. And you should see where I went with that. Once we got to the front, as you can see, I just got wood that I had. And this is a big piece of wood that was just sitting outside with no use for maybe 2 years. That's why it's so dark, waterlogged and everything. And then this is a piece of wood that was inside the house. I zip tied that to the chicken wire itself as it came around. Then I zip tied that, the long end, to the post. Okay. And as I came around, I wanted this one to be able to open. So I zip tied that to the chicken wire itself. That's kind of holding that wood to that spot. It's not zip tied to nothing else but the chicken wire. Then around here, you're not gonna be able to see it from the inside. Is zip tied to chicken wire that's wrapped around. So the other side look just like this, only have the zip tie around it, and it's on the inside. Then I actually drill holes in the actual just scrap piece of 2x4 block. And I drill holes in it, then I drill holes on either side of the block in the plywood. I measured it out, made sure that it was big enough. And then I just zip tied that block to the plywood like that. So it's kind of like a stop, because this wasn't long enough. It's another scrap piece of wood. It wasn't long enough to go all the way to the end, but that's fine. As you can see, the compost is still stacked. It's just, you know, sitting there. Then I put some heavy blocks at the bottom to kind of close it and keep it closed. And then when everything starts going down a little bit, then you have that block that actually stop it. So later on, if I decide to, I'll come around and just screw in something to make it longer. If I decide to, maybe put a clasp around it. So that's the compost bin. And this is where this stuff is the compost. I actually have this thing on top to kind of like, I was thinking to keep the rain off, but I could just knock that off because it's actually keeping the sun off too. I don't think that's a factor in composting, but who knows. So I think that's pretty serious compost being for somebody who never composted, right? One is shut and it don't open, and one has a door that can open. Now it's closed. This area here along the shed is where it was, and if you could really look, there's some really rich black dirt down there to show that's where it was actually composted, and a little time that I had it stacked over there. What we have here is 2 bins full of compost. Okay, and I actually scooped some of the dirt that's down there, over there, and over there, into the compost bin. And it's pretty high. It's like at waist level to me in these bins, and it's 2 bins. Okay, at first I thought it was gonna only be 1 bin, but it's 2 bins. So that's a pretty good amount of compost. Okay, and then when you think about it, I still have all these leaves to rake. Other stuff that goes in the compost bin. Then what I'm gonna try to do is get a little work together, because I gotta do some laundry, so I can't mess around here too long. I'm actually pulling the door to this shed because I'm going to have to get in there. I think I'm going to go through. And inside there is a bunch of bags of leaves. Some of it is trash, I think. There's even a wood board in there. But there's a bunch of bags of leaves. I want to at least try to get all of the bags out there and lined up over here. And then when I get some free time during the week, it's probably going to have to wait until next weekend. But when I get some free time during the week, I just go through and get the old leaves that's in there and actually put them in the compost bin, because they should have at least 2 years worth of composting they've been doing in the shed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started, at least get all them bags out of the shed, because they shouldn't even be in there. And start working on that. I'm Ebonygeek, and I hope that the information provided has been helpful to you. Please remember to subscribe. Happy building and happy coding.